Twitch.
Now streaming.
I don't know how like there's a delay.
Now.
Like it's trying to connect.
Now streaming. Now.
No.
Now.
I just zoned out and realized
And
like,
also now.
Now
the
streaming.
word bamboo is on that
And
on
then
your
this
door.
is freezing. Oh, wait.
Oh,
What? Huh?
Just give it some time.
Oh, look. It's trying to stream on YouTube and then with the restream to YouTube.
that's weird.
And then Facebook.
So
So you usually get a notification right away. For
Yeah, I'm
Facebook.
waiting for
Let's see.
my
It
wrist to buzz.
says Rista Buzz.
I'm gonna have this
Title.
clean- I'm gonna have this clean my
Circuit
brow.
board app
All
7.
the spit that's on here.
Lucky number 11.
Who was in that?
Josh Hartnett.
That's the only, yeah.
I've
was
never
in
seen
one.
the
I've
movie.
never seen it. Yeah,
I love him.
it's one of those crime, like slick
Whatever.
British crime movies or something.
It's well, it starts off
Like
saying,
Snatch?
yeah. It's one of those movies where it's like,
Or
you know,
Blow.
one of the great things about pulling I forgot the name of the move, but it's like there's a move that he does, and it's like where somebody looks left and you're moving right. I'm like, all right, cool.
It says connecting. It making me wonder. Is it?
It's a
Are you
word.
guys
Facebook?
getting
I'll pull up
YouTube and
Nothing yet.
Twitch?
Oh, no. Just got Facebook.
Yep, we
Are
got
you getting
Facebook.
YouTube and Twitch?
I am getting Twitch right now.
I just got Facebook, so
But you're the Twitch or the YouTube guy. I just want to know if we're actually getting a stream through it. It says connecting. It makes me wonder.
It says
That's your
Hero Clicks Ludum
Facebook.
Tempest. Live.
does?
Yeah.
For what?
For Twitch.
I'm not getting anything on Facebook as of yet.
I have Facebook.
You have Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So are you getting it?
I'm getting it. Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
It's up.
And are you getting it?
Not on my YouTube for some reason.
It is still private. That's also a thing too.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I
because it's
can't
private?
get
Yes.
It's private.
I can't
Definitely
get the
public.
Okay, it's updating now.
Changes are being saved. All changes.
There we
saved.
go.
Alrighty. And for Twitch, can we check out what's going on with that one?
Is the title okay?
Yeah, it says circuit board.
If you're
Every one of you left your volume on.
doing it right now.
well,
No,
no,
I
it's
can't-
muted, but
yeah, I can't
once
until it's
once
up.
a video plays, then you have to deal with that volume.
you can change that in your settings.
Yes, you
I
can.
just
I
didn't
didn't
want
know
to
that.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah, because I like for things to play when I have my phone on silent.
yeah.
Media volume.
Ooh, I don't know if I have that.
You have to put it. Yeah, I guess you have to put it as a
Well,
setting
they
to
have
actually show
iPhones,
it
might
up.
be
We have
different,
iPhone that we're
They don't-
evenly
they don't get cool
split.
stuff.
They don't get the cool stuff. They got entertaining things.
All right, so we're live.
The cool
We're
kids.
live.
Hello, welcome, internet people,
Hi.
to Circuit Board episode 7. This is the official Color Circuit podcast involving all 4 of the founders, talking about what's happening on the channel, what's happening in our lives, and what will happen on the channel and our lives. So this is the first time in a while we've had all 4 founders at the same table talking
Yeah.
to you, the internet people. So
Been a
It's been
moment.
like 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah, 3 episodes of this. The last somebody's been gone. So
Three straight
Yeah.
up weeks, man. It's been a long time.
Bon, you've been on all of them.
Yes.
You're
He's
the
only one.
Yeah,
And hopefully
you're the glue.
I will keep it that way. This is the one thing I'm trying to make it
Hmm.
for consistently, since I have started rehearsal for my new play.
You don't have to gloat.
I'm super excited.
new play. Have you heard of my new play?
Would you consider? Are you one of the main characters?
I am. I'm one of the more major characters. Yeah.
Or one of
A
the more major
supporting,
characters?
at least. Like
yes.
a,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm a larger supporting role. I would
Okay.
say.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are the levels? If like you, it's sort of like star and then co-star and then
There's lead.
Then
lead. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know play structure.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say it probably goes lead and then supporting and then background.
and then the background people can play multiple characters. You
Yeah.
can be part
There's-
of the chorus or whatever they call the.
It really
the company.
depends. Yeah, it really depends on what type of play you're doing,
Okay.
or because it's like the chorus line is pretty much still a supporting character, but it's the chorus, so it's this constant backbone. Then you do have your support. Yeah, you guys got it right. You got it correct.
Your
That's
play
correct.
will probably be my 3rd play. I've been to 2 plays my whole life, and they were within the last.
They've
3
been the last
months.
couple of months.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I didn't grow up with. I grew up like I went to and I still do go to concerts about twice a month. That was my life.
You should invite me when you go.
To concerts?
Yeah, I love going to shows.
We do have similar tastes.
Yeah.
I don't forget it, but yeah, I just don't know where like yours leads because I know we have like a similar like punk and hardcore background.
I like seeing live music.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, when you go, let me know because I've like almost completely stopped going to shows, which sucks.
First comments.
What is Phil
Yeah,
say?
I saw that. I was just waiting for all of us to be on board. So Phil wants us to talk about him. So I have a couple things to say about Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Phil? Who are you? Who? New phone. Who dis?
Who dis?
Phil? How are we spelling that?
This is a callback to something with Phil and I because he had texted me and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have this number in my phone. Who is this?
Nice.
But it was really funny because it was just after we had a really nice conversation about how we should hang out more and we should be good friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so it was like a couple days later and I was just like, I'm sorry, who is this?
I'm not a jerk, I swear.
Let's
Yeah,
tell
it was
Phil
just
now.
really good timing.
Phil, come play video games with us.
Yeah,
and bring
tonight.
the whole team, and then you guys
Tonight,
Can, I
yeah.
know you guys are like
Tonight,
renaming things, and so
Changing
do
things
it
up.
with us.
Yeah.
That would be more fun.
We'll
Yes.
do it live.
Do it live.
That's what we say here at Color Sarcasm.
We'll do it live.
As well as hashtag all the things.
Yes.
Yes.
All the
that's
verbs.
things. All the verbs.
It's my own
That's your
thing,
thing,
and
you
I
fucked
messed
it
it
up.
up. Oh,
Mistakes
dear.
are made.
Oh,
I
dear.
do like that. All the verbs.
All the verbs.
yeah.
Out of context, no sense.
That can
is
mean a
made,
lot of
but,
things.
Yeah.
But they all sound like good things. It's
Yeah.
like if usually the connotation I have is all the awesome, great things. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the good.
And also, Nick Weineman wanted to let us know that he was dropping in to say hi.
Say hello.
He can't stay, but showing us some love, and we love him.
Yes.
I probably
man.
more than you guys, but that's okay.
I don't
I'm okay
think
with
I've
that.
met him once or twice, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, good friend of mine, but Don Stark also saying the same thing, just showing some love and then popping out.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
You're always very supportive.
I know. Very surprised.
Tune back in, guys.
He's my evil DM. So there's some nice moments.
So you had some. You
Yeah,
had some notes.
I had some things I wanted to talk about. I think first and foremost, yesterday, maybe we should talk about what happened yesterday.
Yeah. So
Kerfuffle.
what was the plan, and then what happened?
Yeah, okay. So our plan was to participate in the Del Close improv marathon that a lot of improv groups around the nation partake in.
Usually in a coast somewhere.
Yeah. The coasts are the good spots, and we're here in New Mexico.
It's probably. I think it was. I mean, I don't know exclusively, but I think it was exclusively put on by UCB.
It
so
is
the
a
East and West Coast
Upright
thing.
Citizens Brigade thing that they put on the whole weekend. So it's 72 hours, nonstop improv. They have the actual Upright Citizens Brigade people there. They have groups from all over the country come and perform. It's really cool. There's a neat documentary called Thank You Del that you can watch all
I do
about
wanna
it.
watch that.
It's pretty awesome.
It's on CISO.
Ooh,
Love CISO.
My favorite.
Can I get your password?
Okay, later then.
Okay.
I'm deleting my
no.
CISO account in probably a couple of days. Harmon Quest Season 2 drops tomorrow, I think. I watch that and then cancel it because
Okay.
I'm just not watching anything on CISO.
CISO,
It's true.
and it's kind of a
Understandable.
buggy app. I'm just going to say that. They
Oh,
need some
there's
work.
an app? I didn't even know they had
Yeah,
an app.
well,
that's cool.
I started watching it when they got an app for Apple TV.
Okay.
And it's really buggy. It logs you out. It has error messages, but when it works, it's cool. Anyway, so yeah, we wanted to try and participate in the improv marathon. We've done marathons before.
Yep.
We were like, hey, this is our new marathon.
Yeah,
and
we do
we scheduled people. We had people lined up. 7+ hours of content planned, and the internet was
Said
not
no.
helping us on that.
Yeah,
no,
Comcast
said no.
was like, bitch, you don't want that.
No. I was actually talking to the Comcast guy today because we did end up fixing it today, which is why we're able to go live now.
Yeah.
And he said that he's like, it's, everybody's connected to each other. So if the guy next door, his dog chews through one of his coaxial cables, it could actually ruin yours. And everything, downstream from you gets ruined also.
Wow.
You know what I
This
mean?
is
So
why
he's like,
I
one-
hate New Mexico.
He said, well, I don't think it's a New Mexico
I
thing.
agree,
I think it is
yeah.
a cable thing. He says the only, the how they're able to avoid it moving into the future is fiber And there's Google Fiber, and I think Comcast is doing fiber in some areas, but
It's not everywhere.
it's not everywhere, and it's super expensive.
My
Yeah.
cousin lives in Kansas City, and they have Google Fiber,
Uh-huh.
and it's the greatest thing in the world.
It's got to be the best.
It is
Yeah.
amazing. Everything is just.
It's like the main reason why I want to move to Austin is
Ah.
just so I can have that
Just
internet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't know they had
Reason,
Google Fiber there.
That's another good. I mean, Austin's a great city. That's another good reason
Yeah.
to move.
That's another reason to
So
go.
my connection with Del Close, which I have one, and you all do too, kind of.
Ooh, so now we're doing our 7 steps from Del Close.
7 steps from Del Close. I'm only 2 steps away though, and I think you guys might know. Who was it, Jessica? Jessica's sitting over here in the corner. What's the name of our teacher? Joe Carney.
Oh yes, yeah.
He is part of. What's the name of his group? Here.
The One Night Stanleys.
One Night Stanley is
Yeah.
a long form improv team. They're really, really good. It's with Alex and Steve and a couple other really good improvisers. His
Mondo.
Okay.
teacher, Joe Carney's teacher, was Del Close.
Yes, he trained under Del Close
Trained under Del
at
Close.
Improv Olympic in Chicago.
Oh, it was Chicago.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
he's Chicago. Yeah, Del Close. He started out in Second City, and then this is all in the documentary. He really wanted to champion the Herald, improv as an art form in
Yeah.
and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the director of Second City was like, "Nah, it's just a way to get ideas for actors, and we're gonna write sketches. That's gonna be our big thing." And so. Del Close, I forget his friend who was working at Improv Olympic, was like, "You need to come over here," and they really cultivated improv as a standalone. You're just going to go and see improv,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
and that's where the Herald was born, and
And
everything else.
modern
And then history
modern
changed.
improv as we know it, actually.
Yeah.
At least long form. And Jessica and I were lucky enough to have his Dell student, Joe Carney, as one of our long form improv teachers. So.
as
That is
well
really
as
cool.
So-
I was in that class as well.
Oh, you were in that class.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my gosh. You guys
Wait,
have
hold
no
on, hold on.
idea.
I have taken like 7. I've taken like 7 improv classes. It is hard to remember who I took all my classes with, and that was the only class we've ever taken
Yeah.
together.
And it's always with Scott.
So that's the one that you
Yeah.
shouldn't forget.
Right? Is that the only
It
one?
would, that was the one where I
The
had
big
my
one.
meltdown. And
Oh, you took a week off.
I was there when I took the week off, though.
Oh yes, I remember that day. That was amazing. You were like, I think for improv, Scott said 2 words the whole day. It was pretty
No, okay,
amazing.
all right. So we did 2 Heralds that night in rehearsal.
Okay.
And I was on Steam. I was doing a weekly rehearsal as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like work and life just beaten down on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I hit a wall. We
Yeah.
did a Herald. I was in it somewhat, and then we had a break, and we did a second Herald, and I gave up. Like
Yeah,
You just
and
stopped.
it was a large class. It was maybe
12 or so?
12 people. It was a big back line. And so the whole thing goes on, and I'm just like on the back line going, nope.
That's amazing.
It's
No,
just
one of
not
those.
going to
And it
happen.
just got worse and worse. Like my brain in its greatness just folded in on itself. So and it just got worse. I got deeper in a hole of just self-doubt. And like, no, I'm not going to go. Like, even at the beginning of the Herald, I at least had the feet twitches. Like, you should go. You should go
yeah.
out. And then that just went away.
That was
And
an
so
odd day.
it culminated into the last scene, the third beat of the sea. It was like literally a courtroom scene, and it incorporated everybody
I remember.
from all the scenes. And
Is that when we're standing in line talking to the judge?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a huge thing. And Azim, bless his heart, he was the judge, and he was like, bailiff? Bailiff? As if to summon me to get on the stage. And I was like, nope.
Oh my gosh! Even still?
Oh my gosh.
It was a bad night.
It was one of those days.
And
Wow.
so,
All right.
and so,
We're not talking about that.
and so,
I thought that was a pretty good show, though.
yeah. And
'Cause Scott stayed out of it.
I would have ruined it. I wasn't in it.
Okay, well,
But-
wait. We've gotten way off track.
Okay.
Oh gosh, you're not bringing it back on track by talking about how much I love Scott, are you?
No. We need to tell people how we're releasing the marathon.
yeah,
That was the
the
whole point
original
of bringing it up.
You're right,
We
you're right.
want people to
wait and
know
hold
that we
off
didn't
there.
just abandon it.
This is true.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had to record everything
Immediately.
in house It's sitting on a computer, and it will be released.
It's processing.
I backed it up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I was like, I really
Yeah,
scared.
so we
Right.
still-
That's hours of stuff.
We didn't end up doing the 8 hours that we had planned on, but we did what, 5?
5
Just
good
about.
hours.
At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, 5 hours.
And
5 good hours.
that's
5
gonna be,
very good hours.
That's going to be shortened down to like the great tidbits and everything, and getting all the sound right. Because well, since we have the time, we might as well.
We're not going to shorten it down.
Yeah,
not gonna
no,
shorten it
it's
down. We're
my
gonna clean up the-
Are
marathon.
you going to short? I'm not going to do it.
Okay. All right. I didn't know. How this got-
Decisions being
Well,
made
I guess
right
there's no
now.
reason to, right?
I guess that's true. That's
Right?
true.
Yeah.
But,
let's-
but the audio does need to change, right?
Yeah.
If we
So
can
there's gonna
pipe
be
that up a
something
little
new.
bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But tomorrow? Releasing it tomorrow?
Releasing
idea.
tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay.
And so what we did is we started off with Fiasco by Bully Pulpit Games.
Mhm, written
I don't know who it was written by.
Will Wheaton.
Oh.
by amongst a couple other authors,
Okay,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the big name.
The notable one.
Yeah.
Extra notable.
So he just did that campaign or whatever, right? Like he didn't write Fiasco, did he?
He didn't
No.
create Fiasco.
So Fiasco
Oh,
has
okay.
different play sets.
Yeah,
you know,
okay, yeah,
different
he just did the
themes.
play
So
set.
he did the Saturday Night 78.
It's like
I think
it's like
called.
a D&D module. Like
Yeah,
everyone-
yeah,
You
yeah.
get the same set of rules and different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun. Thank you, Jason. God, why did I start this?
Yeah, why do you do
Justin,
this?
Tito and Kevin. did
Yes.
it.
Yep, they did it and it was very hilarious.
You weren't even in that
Um,
one, but you managed to remember all their names.
And I did stand up the other night. Remember? I don't know if you guys were there. And I
gonna-
named every person in the room.
Yeah, even me.
Even you.
Yeah, but you were looking at them.
There was a lot of people though.
There
Right.
were a lot of people
That's
there.
Yeah.
good for me. Just
Yeah.
give me some credit,
Crammed,
guys.
crammed in a very small room.
So after Fiasco, we had Megaprov, which is pretty much, so we were going to have 3 groups go. We were going to have B Team, Steam Supreme, and Phil and Wes. 3 different improv groups that perform in Albuquerque. And instead we just mashed them all together since we had lost so much time troubleshooting the internet. So we did that, Megaprov.
That was really
And
fun.
then we had a really cool group that plays out of the community college here, CNM, hosted by the amazing Stephen Blacksmith,
Yep.
who is a very good writer. And so he runs that group out of CNM. So they came by and played, which was cool because we hadn't met them before. Like we've all met.
blood,
I think we've
yeah.
all met Stephen before.
I feel like Steve is like their Bond. Like doesn't he direct, write sketches, do improv? I don't know
Yeah,
if
he
does
does
stand-up,
everything.
like,
He's
he
really
does
good with
everything.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
he's
does
an everything kind of
He's
guy.
He's like crazy works hard at everything,
Yeah.
which is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, and then my favorite
That
part
was-
of the
It
evening
might have been my favorite. too.
was
Steam.
stand up.
Oh. Yeah, same favorite part.
Stand up. So we did like
stand-up was my favorite part too.
a set list style. I don't know if any of you have seen this. It's a nerdish show called Set List. And it's where stand-up comedians go on stage and they have to create a set, like create a stand-up set on spot based off of prompts that they're given.
Yeah.
So we did that. We had 4 comedians,
just ripped
good friends
along.
of mine, who did that, and then we had a 5th comedian who instead rapped it.
Which was awesome. It was very entertaining because we are still going on here.
All right,
Just
all right.
on here. Yeah, because I loved every moment of that I got
Yeah.
to see. I didn't get to see this because I had to leave halfway through.
To go to his rehearsal because he
I
didn't
wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't
play.
gonna say it, but
I'm a higher up co-star.
Higher
I'm
up.
so excited. But yeah, it was. I got to see a little bit of that before we started today, and I loved it.
So yeah, that should hopefully be releasing tomorrow as long as we don't run into any problems.
We have the video.
And I just really want to extend a huge thank you to everyone that participated.
Yeah.
There's a lot
We
of
had,
people.
20
Yeah,
plus
20
Yeah.
plus.
people come by.
And
That's
people were
awesome.
on
Around.
time. And
Yeah, that was
did a
great.
great job.
Very surprised that people are on time. I don't know that comedians are notoriously known for
No.
being on time.
No.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Uh,
It's not a
the
thing that
opposite.
happens. It's usually, like I'm 15, 20 minutes late. But that's also like New Mexico time in
Yeah.
general. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
everyone here is usually about
I
10,
think that's
15 minutes late.
millennial time.
Is that millennial time? It's kind of
Ugh,
true.
fucking millennial.
It all has to happen on our time. It just
but
has to be.
Everyone who came got it and really enjoyed themselves and
Yeah.
had fun. And so I'm excited for people
it can be
to see
very
it.
difficult to ask performers to come perform to a camera instead of an audience.
Sure.
Just like a
It's-
wall
how do you
of
feed that
lights
energy? Yeah.
And webcams and like be funny, do your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do your thing and just imagine a laugh happening somewhere.
I really do love our friends. They're all so
I
amazing.
do too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Except for the following.
yeah, so that'll be released tomorrow, at some time.
Sometime
Yeah.
Try to
tomorrow.
get the audio fixed. And
You'll know
get
when
it
we
going.
know.
Most likely later in the night, closer to when we stream or
Yeah,
something like
we'll
that.
see. We'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts
Sometime
about
this sounds
yesterday?
No.
Mm,
Oh, Jessica was sick, and she's sorry. She was supposed to be on stream a lot.
She's not sorry. She did it on purpose.
She did. Yeah.
She
It was-
put herself in pain and
Yes.
torment
She
just
decided
because.
it was the perfect time to
Yeah,
suffer.
what is this cyanide? I'm gonna drink it.
yeah, that's essentially what happened.
Uh,
Would you like to give a public apology?
Guys, I'm really sorry. I was in a lot of pain yesterday, and
how we doing?
otherwise I would have been involved in most of the things going on yesterday. And hopefully next marathon I'll be there and not sick and able to participate. So thanks. for
Yay,
hearing
Jess.
me.
All right.
She is our glue
she is.
and
She
our
is.
cement and our
could tell us-
mother and our lover and
She could tell us to leave at any time.
It's true.
Get the fuck out of my house.
And I would immediately just
You're
walk
lucky she
the
loves
fuck
you
out.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, us, not you.
Exactly.
All right, can we talk
Uh,
about? Are we gonna do one of your things now?
Yeah, sure. So I was gone last week. Kind of funny. I'll explain.
our
I-
random
I had
Whirlwind
friends-
of
It
activity.
was a whirlwind of activity. So Thursday night we were streaming Ludum Tempest, which is our board game, tabletop game show.
My drug game.
Your drug game, which you're doing this Thursday and you can't do, I don't think. It's so
I
sad.
know. It's really sad.
And we were playing Hero Clicks with Justin and his brother. They're amazing.
Yes,
Justin's
they're
always
awesome.
putting up with us.
I love that family, the Laird family.
The Laird
Just
family,
good
is
so
just
nice.
good people,
Salt
so
of the
nice
earth.
people.
How can you be so
have you met
nice?
his wife?
Yes.
Is she just as
Ju-
nice?
Justin's wife? Yeah.
Yeah, better.
Oh my gosh. How is that possible?
I haven't met her.
She's amazing. Oh
She's
yeah,
great.
we went to the movies.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember. We
Aw.
went to Wonder
Aw.
Woman together. She's great.
That's one.
Oh look, Justin just joined us. We're talking about
Oh.
him.
That's perfect timing.
Someone's ears were burning.
yeah, no kidding.
So I must
can
check
hear.
circuit board.
Anyways, so I get a message right when we're about to go live, and it's an invitation to a Hyper RPG party. Now, for those of you that have seen this podcast or seen our set or anything related to what we do here,
Probably
we
know
love
who
Hyper
we love.
RPG.
Yeah.
We really do. They are the Papa version of us.
Yeah.
Um,
Along with a few of their other brothers, sisters.
the other brothers and sisters, Geek and Sundry.
Yeah, they're not the
Nerdist,
only one, but
Attack.
they're one of
Yeah.
the main ones.
Oh,
One
high
of the main
watermark.
ones, and they're like a bigger startup. You know, the rest of them have like legendary entertainment money.
Yeah.
Or,
Sure,
You know what I
right.
mean?
They have some
funding.
star
The
power.
Attack is now
Like financial
the
backing.
Attack is two of their shows. I'm not entirely sure how it's worked out, but they got picked up by Disney XD.
Wow.
Just
They, you know,
crazy.
they all have money.
Yeah.
Right,
They're all doing really, really well.
Where this is all just like group
Yeah.
of people who grew up with this or like trying to start something like this.
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
pocket.
exactly. And so I love Hyper, and I got invited to a Hyper party. So I was
So
I
crazy.
was really excited,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, I think I need to get out to California to go to.
It was
this
like the
party.
next day.
So
It was
they
next
they
day.
told me,
Drove that
and
night.
I'm just gonna verify
Oh,
with
'cause you weren't there, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that. So when I was asking Bon and Scott about it, they were like, you know, you got invited, and you said I'm gonna be there anyway.
I got
that-
invited. I'm going to be there anyways.
You're
Was
like,
that-
oh yeah, I was gonna be
yeah,
in
so
LA
in
anyways.
Yeah, for any of you watching, I wasn't there for family. I was there for you, and then the family was like secondary.
You saw family while you were there.
But
I
you
saw- I
weren't
saw a lot of
planning.
family.
You weren't planning on going.
It
no,
was
no.
Yeah.
The
It was-
moment that you got that, you suddenly like that's why half of Hero Clicks you just see Dylan kind of like disappear at the beginning of that.
No, I was there the whole time.
It was
But
oh,
we
oh,
didn't
was
start
setting
the
up.
stream
Oh,
for
that's
a
right,
while
that's right, yeah, yeah.
because he was getting
We started the
stuff
stream
figured out.
later because
Yeah.
literally packing and getting ready to go to
Yeah.
leave.
So I drove out there
Get there by morning.
to get there by morning.
Midnight,
Midnight to 10, 11. Slept for a couple hours. Went to the party. Met all these people that I've been watching on streams for a long time. A lot of crossover with Geek and Sundry. So I see them on a lot of things. Introduced myself to a lot of them. It was really nerve-wracking. I didn't go to parties when I was in high school or even in college. Really,
And
I'm just not a. I mean, some of you seem like party people. Like you seem like you could hold up pretty well at a party.
Yeah, and even in high school and like beyond high school, I was straight edge and I was still going to
still went
parties.
to
Yeah,
parties,
I was.
yeah,
I just didn't party. I was socially awkward.
And this is the kind of situation I would hate. Like, literally, I know nobody.
Yeah.
And it's people I admire and people
Right,
I
right.
want to be
Yeah.
cool with,
Yeah.
but
So
it's like...
the people you imagine yourself being friends with when you got like closer doing what they're doing, and then
Right.
realizing like, oh, you're inviting me
And
to this.
now-
now I'm here.
Yeah,
Right,
so going to a party by myself was kind of weird. I didn't have to. Once I showed up, I realized, it was a pool party.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Still
didn't
party.
have to do this to myself, but also if I would have brought somebody, I would have just talked to them the whole time because
It forced
Yeah.
you to be
forced
social.
me to be
you know?
social. Met some amazing. I told all you guys who I met, but and I wish I could remember all of their names, but some amazing voice actors that have been in a million things.
So jealous.
Some amazing actors that work with some really other cool actors. I feel like there's some things that I
Good.
shouldn't.
A very
Some
extended
names that I
circle.
think
Sure.
I shouldn't drop.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
Because
met
like
some
they sign,
amazing
they
people that
sign
you'd love to
NDAs
meet.
and things with people, and they're like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to be talking about this or that," and they're connected with everything. They're connected with Marvel. They're connected with comedy. One of them, she worked for Joe Rogan for a long time. I mean, a bunch
That's
of
so cool.
cool people
It's
doing a lot of cool
literally
things.
us.
Everything that
it's
we're
literally us that we want to be.
everything that we have like in this town for us.
Yeah.
If we had our Hollywood equivalents, it would be these guys. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. They're all so cool, and they're all
Mhm.
so super nice and like friendly and
Yeah.
like, and then they, I told them, hey, I'd like to see what you guys do around here, and so they're like, come back. And so my hand's getting caught in the the thread. Come back, and so I went back on Tuesday to help them film all of the things that all the shows that I like most, which is their talk shows.
Yeah.
They do
All the
they're
super fun, crazy
threefold.
ones.
They're a talk show. They do talk shows, they do video games, and they do role playing games.
Yeah.
Hyper RPG does. And so I went to their Tuesday night talk shows, and they do Krill in It, which is a Dragon Ball Z show. They do. They had Emma Fife who does video games on that day, so she was just finishing that up. What other? They have a. We talked about this last week. I think when Kendra wasn't here, they do a wrestling show. So all like WWE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They talk a lot about that. I'm sure there are other organizations that do wrestling, like bigger wrestling. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, there used to be WCW, but that was a long time
Not
ago.
around
It's
anymore.
just like WWE.
And then my favorite Cineverse movie talk show.
Love it.
Jessica and I watch that very regularly. It's a once-a-week show.
Yeah.
And so got to meet all those people, and those are the people that I like fanboyed out most with. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh, like, can I take a picture of you? I was like sitting on the side watching the whole time. They don't have seating because it's not a live stage performance, but
Yeah.
I made seating
They're
for
just
myself to
relaxing
watch.
there.
Sure.
And I think I was probably even distracting. Sorry, guys. I really apologize.
They're not watching this.
They're not watching,
Sure.
but they will. I'll make them. So
all
that
about
was
that
my
friendship.
trip out there. Also, I did a bunch of other cool stuff. I hung out with a lot of my old buddies. I mean, I grew up in the LA area, so friends that I've known since I was 1 year old, literally, because our families have known each other
Yeah.
and stuff. What do we do? We went to this place called Big Al's, I think. It sounds like a furniture store, and it looks like a furniture store out front. Awful name. This is in Ontario, California, about an hour outside of LA. And you walk in, and it's like, holy shit, this place is awesome. They have a huge bar to the right and restaurant. You walk straight forward, and there's a bowling alley. You go to the left, there's an enormous arcade, and then you walk around a corner, and then it is the it's another area that has a lot of free stuff. So there's some free arcade games, some really cool ones like Street Fighter and the Simpsons.
Oh yeah, the old
2D,
That's so much
2D
fun.
one.
Oh my gosh.
They have large Scrabble, a $1,200 Scrabble board
Oh,
system
yeah.
that's the size of
Oh,
a wall.
yes.
On the wall, using
Um,
magnets.
Darts, free ping pong, shuffleboard. I cornholed for a little bit.
You played cornhole?
I
You're just talking
cornholed it
about
up.
it,
It was the
yeah.
Did
first
you?
game of cornhole I've ever
Yeah,
played.
I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, because I make fun of cornhole and
Yeah, and then I remember I like told you what the rules
You said
were,
it was fun, yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, it's actually more than just throwing it into the hole." And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a whole point system and like strategy."
And
yeah,
trying to get
I
as close as
didn't-
you
I
can
didn't-
and knocking other things off. And
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
love
great
cornhole.
at it. I actually think I won. But I did try to do like a high lob, and literally about 15 feet up, I got one of the bags stuck on a vent. You know,
Oh,
this-
no.
oh my gosh.
So and like, there's only a couple other people in there. I went during the day,
Yeah.
and I went during the night another time.
So you're
but,
just looking up there.
I'm looking up there, and this couple was like laughing. They're playing pool right next to us. The billiards, and so the guy let me like borrow his pool stick, and then I stood on top of a chair and I was doing this. There's a picture out there somewhere of me doing it because it was on his phone. He like
That's
had
so
to
great.
Snapchat it.
Yeah.
it was good times. I got to do that, and I don't.
Lots
Did
of
I do
catching
anything
up.
else fun? I can't remember.
I just
I
feel
mean, I
like,
did-
see,
it was amazing.
that type of place describing that is why we don't have anything like that around here.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. So like while you were there, I went to Denver for a couple days
Yeah.
with Greg. We went to an arcade bar and it was a lot of fun. But for part of it, we went outside and we were playing, the large Jenga.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
We did that too.
But what was fun about it is that we had gotten it to where it was just the single center blocks, about 6 levels.
Oh,
And
man.
so we had these 2 guys that were watching us, and I think they were more into it than we were.
like, "Oh my
They were like, "Oh my god, this is intense!"
What's
It
gonna
got like
happen
really
next?
tall, but it was a lot of fun. And obviously we have big Jenga here all over the place,
Sure. Yeah.
and I play it. But that was just like the first time I had ever seen it. Yeah, we had just the
True.
center blocks, 6 whole levels.
We
It was
did
intense.
Scares
a
me.
really fun version of that when we were out there. We were like, you weren't allowed to like grab it and move the Jenga piece. You had to smack it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my God.
And it was pretty similar. Like we were
Yeah.
just smacking at all the ones. It was great. It
That's
was great.
awesome.
I should pull up pictures to remember. But yeah. Well, any more topics from you before we? I have a couple more too. But
Yeah.
Did
So
I
the
show you
next
guys
one,
this? Me and my buddies did a photo shoot.
oh yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Oh, my
I
God.
did not see the overlay that you are now showing us.
I'll post this picture.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be
think you
posted.
should post that in the comments.
It's
So
it's
good.
beautiful.
all right. So
Oh, what
Yeah.
else did I do out there? I went to Harmontown. That's my favorite show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's my. If you were stuck on an island,
yeah,
what would you
You would
bring?
listen.
Harmontown's for me. And they interviewed executive producer, which I just found out is lower than a producer. Did you guys know that?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just me. Well, I wasn't the only audience member that was that didn't know. And so the executive producer of Okja, which is a new Netflix original. So he interviewed her, and in their new studios, which is Starburn Industries, I think it's called, at the Starburn Castle, which is just part of the building. But you guys would be happy to know that it's an animation studio, and they do a lot of famous shows like Rick and Morty out of there. The new Louis C.K. Show that's coming, animated show
right,
that's coming
yeah.
out.
I
They're doing
can't wait
that
for
as
So
well.
what I
that.
hear
It's
is
amazing.
you tried to sneak in, got kicked out.
No,
looked
no, it's
around.
open. It's open doors. Oh, you mean like to the rest of the studio?
Yeah.
I know. I really wish I did.
You brought your lockpicks, and you have some juicy information to tell us.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So the thing that I wanted to talk about, you actually just went past the picture of, is Greg's comedy basement.
That was fun.
So my almost best friend Greg, he decided to start having a comedy show in his basement. The basement is probably about 10 by 10.
Inches.
Yeah.
It's just tiny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a very
Uh,
small bedroom, maybe a large closet.
Yeah. There's no way it could even be considered a small bedroom.
Yeah.
So it's
It's,
probably smaller than 10 by 10.
Yeah, I was thinking like
It's maybe
like
8 by
I-
8.
Yeah, it was tiny.
It's a walk-in
It
closet.
might be 10 by 10, maybe even bigger, honestly. But 10. It is not 10 feet high.
Yeah. It
It's
has
about
low
low
ceilings.
ceiling. Yeah.
It's almost 7 feet high.
It's a basement in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what do you think
Which
that
is
would be?
I
very
think it
rare
was probably
here.
about, how tall are you?
5'11".
Yeah, I think the ceiling was
maybe
probably like
6
6'2".
foot. Yeah, yeah.
Because you were pretty close
Wow.
to hitting
Yeah.
the ceiling. But anyway, so it was so much fun. And I had this moment of sitting on the floor and looking around me and seeing all of the faces of the people I love. And it was just like this really beautiful moment because I've been like jonesing to get out of Albuquerque a little bit since going to Florida and Denver and just kind of like feeling stuck here in a small city and wanting more. And so it was just a really nice moment sitting on the floor and like looking around and being like, oh, wait, I actually love it here. And I love my friends and I love the things that we're doing. And it's so cool of Greg to do such a DIY like punk comedy show.
That's what I
Yeah.
love is the DIY
Um,
part of it, and it felt just like that. And you're right; it was all of our friends.
Yeah.
It was
and
it was a
so much
moment in
fun.
time where we're just like everything was clicking, and
Yeah.
everyone was there, and
This is aside from being in tight, cramped spaces with. It was really hot.
And it was very hot. It was like
Yeah.
100 degrees down there.
miserable setting.
Probably
but,
could have done.
Yeah.
If one person was inside there, they'd probably do hot yoga inside there.
Yeah.
Just
You could, but you need all the people breathing
Yeah.
to really make
really,
it.
yeah. you need
And
that
the light, the floodlight that he was using as a spotlight, that was also really
Oh my
hot.
gosh.
Yeah.
But next time, July 8th, we'll have better cooling.
Better cooling system.
We'll see how that happens.
Better
Hopefully.
comedians. Just better all around.
Yeah, because you're not going to be there.
Because I won't be there. That
was your first time, right?
Thank you, Greg. That was my first showcase, and it was inside of a basement. so
Danger.
I've made it.
Is going to be there next time.
So this time, this last time, it was me, Kevin, and Caitlin Minton, and then 2 comics. What were their names?
Carter and something else. I don't
Something
remember.
else. They were really good. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. And then next time we have Danger, and we don't know who
Zach.
else.
I don't remember. Is Zach Abeda?
Zach
Zach
Abeda,
Abeda, yes,
and
yes.
third.
I'm the third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of great local comedians.
Yeah. I don't remember who the lineup is, but segueing from Danger, I also wanted to talk about open source comedy. So this weekend, they're having their final show on Friday.
It's a comedy club for those of you.
Yes, open
Comedy club
source
here in
comedy.
Albuquerque.
Our only dedicated comedy club,
How
closing its doors.
how long have they been open?
They opened in October, opened officially in December.
Okay.
Is there a future for this?
Yes. So they are looking for other places to move,
A new
but
location.
it's not decided yet.
Okay.
But I just wanted to put the word out there. If you're not doing anything, Friday, doors open at 8. Show starts at 9.
Last show.
Amazing comics. Sam Talent, he's one of the best in the country. And then his opener or feature, Andrew Polk, who I've seen before, who's very funny. He came through on like a Tuesday, and they just did like a pop-in show that they decided to do that day. And so there were like 5 of us there, and it was the best private comedy show I've ever had. So that was a lot of fun. So it'll be fun to see him with a nice bustling audience again. And segueing from that
Wow, you're like Segway Queen
to
today.
the fact that Sam Talent and Andrew Polk will be on our network here.
Yes.
I'm also getting caught in the
I
fabric.
know. I really need to clean that up. I can just.
Okay, we'll get some
there's a-
scissors.
I was gonna say the sewing machine
messy
just to
here.
clean it up.
Yeah.
Just sew it in.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah.
Are we announcing or?
Yeah, can we announce it?
Yeah.
So we are starting our podcast, our comedy podcast
Dylan and Kendra's comedy podcast.
called Chuckle Fuckers.
Chuckle fuckers.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Chuckle
multiple-
Fuckers.
Fuckers.
Chuckle Fuckers.
Okay. This will be airing Friday, we believe, right after Phil and I's new podcast, Slut Monkey.
Yes.
Singular.
Which
Just
I thought
one.
was called Skullfuckers.
Which you
Yes,
thought was called
which
Skull. You
it
called it
is
that for a long
not.
time.
I will continue to do.
So
probably.
Phil and I are doing an improv podcast, a la Improv for Humans, something similar. We're going to start off with some short form and move into long form. Our first guests are going to be Scott and Jessica, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool.
And then Friday, Kendra and I will be
Yep.
interviewing.
Sam Talent and Andrew Polk.
Yes, and we're still. I mean, we have a lot of ideas for format, but we're probably gonna
Working it
clean
out.
up a little bit
Yeah.
throughout the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
I'm
things going.
excited.
This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the idea of the format came from you.
Yes. The idea of Color Circuit came from me wanting to do a comedy podcast, and you were like, "Hey, no, we should do more than just that."
You just made it sound like the idea of Color Circuit came from you.
No. I was just,
That's what I
we've
heard.
talked about this before.
That's-
I
yes,
approached
definitely
you
what I
about
heard.
doing
Yeah.
a comedy podcast.
You were the Flint,
Yeah.
if you will. Yeah,
And you are everything else.
I was the
You're the
fire.
whole goddamn
Yeah.
campsite.
You were the wood.
I was
Like
the wood.
yeah.
You're the Flint. I'm the wood.
Yeah.
starting that
Rub
flame.
me.
What
All
would
of
that
you.
make us? What are we, Scott? I don't know.
Air,
I-
the air that
the
keeps
air.
it going.
Yeah.
Without some air.
Yeah.
Okay, we're the open space.
Can't see you
Right,
enough,
that's
but
needed.
that's all right.
So do you want to talk about how that podcast plans on moving forward?
No, we'll see how it goes.
Got it.
Yeah, we're trying to branch out now more into like podcasts and that type of thing, and more pre-recorded stuff at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, and
Because we've definitely had a longer format of doing live things, and I think I mean, it's a little unfair when we can't get like on time completely. So I like having the idea of having all that pre-recorded stuff, just so our audience has something to watch while we're not actually live.
Yeah, so Wesley Swedenberg and Kevin Bransford and I are writing a sketch right now, so that could be kind of thing that we would throw up
Ooh.
maybe while we're setting up, getting going. So it could
Yeah.
actually be live broadcasted, pre-recorded sketch. I know that sounds weird.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Geek and Sundry does that. They throw some of their other shows in and kind of just have some time to, while they're getting ready, the audience has something to watch. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it'd be fun to start doing some more things.
Yeah.
And the podcast that we're starting.
Yeah.
To give an idea, it will be interview based.
Oh,
Style.
yes. Yeah.
okay.
So interviewing stand-up comedians. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
I have written here in my notes the time Scott and I walked out of Last Call.
Oh, right. Where I predicted the future.
He predicted the future.
Right.
How so?
Well, okay, so Last Call is a burrito taco place on Central.
It's.
It caters to people.
We should also
at
be
the
clear.
bar.
Last Call is one of the only places you can get food, past
midnight.
Past midnight,
Right,
because
because
everything
Lindy's
closes, here.
closes even earlier. I thought they were going to be open.
So Last
Yeah.
Call's open till like 4 a.m.
Right.
And you and I are commonly out past
We have been,
midnight
yeah.
because we do improv and we hang out in downtown.
That's
Right.
where all the fun things
Why
happen.
don't you
fun
guys
things
invite
happen.
me?
I think you're usually doing something on a Friday or Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah, but
You
not
got
that
Dinner
late.
Detective, you got. Oh, okay, yeah, come hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all the improvisers. we all go out to a bar or whatever. Anyways, we end up
Anyway,
on Last Call.
Last
Yeah.
Call, and it's a restaurant that's right next to FX Nightclub. And it's, I don't know what time this is, but it's letting out. Everything's letting out. Last Call is getting busier. We finish up our food and we leave. And Dylan and I are talking, and we're just like, God, these fucking people. Like, just
it's
looking
a
at all the people.
They have like they're the windowed walls.
Yes.
So you can see outside.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And the scene that we're seeing right before we're going to walk outside is a horde. I mean, it looks like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
No joke. And they even kind of walk
Of
like it 'cause
drunk
they're like in high
people.
heels.
Yeah,
drunk
and they're just like, where do we go now? Oh my God,
Bunch of broken heels, lots of
Yeah.
alcohol. The smell's just intoxicating to the air. Yeah.
And we're just like, can you believe these people? Just like, oh my God.
So
and
we could recreate it. Like I was like, what do we like? Oh my God! Like this is gonna be weird as we walk out this door. Like I need to fit it. How are we gonna fit in? What are we gonna do?
we'll just have to pretend like we're them. Like, where the fuck is she? And literally 2 seconds after that, we hear a girl yell, "Where the fuck is she?"
Oh my
Look at each
God.
other.
Yeah.
That
We
is
need to-
amazing.
We need to leave right fucking now because
Yeah.
it's
It was getting great, but it was
Oh
just
my
so
gosh.
funny.
It was
That is
seamless.
so
It was
good.
seamless.
No joke. 2 seconds later, and it
Yeah.
was word for word. And Scott is a genius. Is
That's
what we
fantastic.
did that night.
It just I tapped
That's the
into those
ultimate
people,
improv. Is when you can emulate them so perfectly.
and then it just happens.
God, that was good
It just
times.
happens.
So for another name for the podcast, BDM Joshua says slut chuckers. Sounds great also.
Oh, that's my brother.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Josh.
Slut chucker.
Wait, we already have Slut
Okay,
Monkey
so
for our improv
chuckle,
podcast,
but
so-
chuckle fucker. There's a reason for it.
Are you gonna say this to your brother?
Yeah, but Josh and I talk about everything.
Sweet.
This is my
Here it
older
comes.
brother, not my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is this is not something we all are going to feel guilty about later on and be like, we shouldn't.
Nice.
Yeah. So
We're not going to take this off the internet.
I was once called a chuckle fucker, and I was very upset about it.
What does that mean, Kendra?
So a chuckle fucker is like a girl who goes out to comedy shows to sleep with comedians.
like a groupie for comics.
Yeah.
comics,
You're
okay.
Yeah.
so funny.
It's a groupie for
You're
comics. That's a great way to put it.
hilarious.
Which I'm not. I think
You have dated comedians. You have
I
dated
have.
non-comedians.
I
It's
have
very
dated.
hilarious 'cause
I have
it's like-
dated comedians and non-comedians. So then,
and normals.
but looking
Yeah,
back
yeah,
on it,
some normies.
I think it's really funny that I got upset that I got called that.
Sure.
And realize, oh yeah, I actually have fucked a couple comedians. So
That makes you a
maybe I am a chuckle fucker.
This-
And if I'm going to be talking to a bunch of comedians, then seems apt to
So-
call the podcast Chuckle
Is that
Fuckers.
the format
Yeah.
of the show?
There's an after show.
Yeah.
Like towards the end, it gets a little dicey.
It's
Or that's
Chuckle
like
Fuckers After Dark.
how I get them on the show.
Yeah, it's like this is payment.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the
That's not true.
It's going to be just a nice interview,
It's-
nice chat.
it's a normal comedians talking to normal people.
Yeah.
Just no sex.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about sex.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's always like
Let's
that
talk
you
about
have to have.
That'll
I
happen.
have an idea for one for a
I-
podcast.
Yes, there is a podcast.
talking about this
I'm
for a long
thinking about
time.
starting. Yeah, it's pretty much just like I forgot what was they called? Like what's the letters you get from like Dear
Dear Abby.
Abby, like that type of stuff,
Okay.
along with
Okay,
like
yeah.
just dating advice and
So you want people to
like-
submit questions or
Yeah.
comments or that
comments or
sort of
that, or like just weird stories, or like I've always wanted to do a podcast about people feeling inclusive, because sex is kind of like one of those things where a lot of nerds are really just like really bad at talking about it.
Yeah.
And since it's like this is my community,
Yeah.
and also I'm an awkward fucker, like there's so many ways that sentence could go that I'm like, you know what, I would start a show about this, because it's nice to feel like comfortable in your skin and all
Yeah.
those things that like people don't really talk about here. Like not a lot of podcasts openly like to speak about stuff. They just kind of like make fun of it and pass on.
You're
But I'd
going to
like
go
do
deep.
something else. Yeah.
We
I wanna
talked
get real.
about Adam Savage,
Yeah, that type
who
of stuff.
has a podcast.
Dan
that is-
Savage.
Dan Savage. Adam
Dan
Savage.
Adam Savage from...
Yeah, I was like so
Busters.
confused just now.
Have you guys listened to Dan Savage's
Yeah,
podcast?
and I've seen him on interviews and stuff.
Okay,
and
yeah.
it is-
Controversial figure.
Yeah, he tells it like it is.
Some of the
Oh.
stuff that he said on his podcast, though, are like they're mind blowing. Like how open people will be,
Mhm.
and some of the stories that people call in for.
They're
Like
rough.
Jessica and I were like, "Holy shit!"
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And he's
he
become
does help a lot of people.
He's become a
Yeah.
trusted voice in this line of work, and he's very upfront about people.
He's
to
a sex
people.
journalist, right? I think is.
Yeah, he has a regular art, a column he does, and he's very prolific about books and stuff. So yeah,
That's
What was the old late night one? Dr.
Loveline.
Loveline.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Cabrera back in the day.
I used to
Memories of
listen
that.
to that.
I used to.
Every
yeah.
night. I loved that.
That was
I loved
that
that
was
show.
one of my favorite things
I
to
was
just
way
drive
too
around
young.
to.
Sure, but it
Yeah.
was on the
No,
radio.
like in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck
In
it.
high school, I would just like drive around and just listen to that.
Yeah.
And just be like,
At
you know, I
10
have some time
p.m.
to
it
kill.
would start. And
Yeah.
you could listen to it.
Be like, oh, I'm learning so much right now. And then
al-
I'd realize it's like 2 a.m.
There's also Dr. Nerdlove,
Dr. Nerdlove.
who I see his articles all the time on Lifehacker, one of my favorite websites.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's like associated with Kotaku and all those other really cool websites that we all go to all the
So,
time.
what do you and Jess do to keep your sex life spicy?
What is it? What do we do? Well, you got spicy yesterday.
That was
Extra spicy.
That was a deep cut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, way to bring Jessica into the conversation, Kendra. That was a good
You
idea.
know, I wasn't trying to poke fun at her though.
You meant spicy in that way.
No, I did
You
not.
did
But-
not.
I just want to hear about Jessica's vagina.
Let's see.
Yeah.
When we spend time apart. So I left for a week last week. You come back?
Go back to normal.
Just get
Well,
right
no,
back.
it's like almost a respark, right? Because you leave
You've
and
been-
then it's like
yeah.
Yeah,
you're
you get
gone
to
for a
remember
while,
that
nothing's
there's
going on.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you kind of forget. Yeah, you're like, I really want to be close to somebody, and then when you're finally back, and then it gets hot and heavy, and then it dies out again. So we've been together for 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Yeah, we need
yeah.
to take breaks a lot. I
Yeah.
think. So when one of us goes away, it's nice because he's right. The spark just reignites when we come back.
She was reconfirming what Dylan
Yeah.
had
Oh,
said.
yeah, that's right. She
Unfortunately,
can't
she doesn't
confirm,
have a mic.
Yeah.
So, okay.
But yeah, I feel like it's one of those things like relationships wise, after a while you really do have to spend time apart. Like I have a friend who for her, she does not care at all. Like which is really crazy. She just gets into a relationship and she's like, we do, if we do, we don't if we don't. And I really just don't care how often we do it, like at all. I'm just like, wow. It's just like for her a relationship is completely never sexual. It's all about the mental. And I'm like, you are an amazing human being.
I would like to hear about the psychology of like how your like libido changes and like it, for men, at what age does it drop off? Is it like 40, 50?
I think there's
Is it
some-
a slow decline up until that point?
I've heard
What's the
that
peak
with
age?
women, it peaks much later.
Yeah, I
in
heard it
life,
peaks
yeah.
at like your 30s or 40s or
Like
something.
they turn into an 18-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That drive later in life.
Yeah.
When
Right.
they're a more mature woman.
And then guys are just usually just like that. They just are. Is there a peak for guys?
There's got to be.
It's got to be
There's
earlier.
gotta be-
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, so there's just no happiness
I feel-
nowhere.
Welcome-
There's like-
There's no balance.
Welcome to we don't know what the fuck we're talking
yeah.
about.
Again, a
Um,
reason why we do this.
Do you guys want to know something very intimate?
Please.
that maybe I don't want the entire world to know.
But here it comes anyway.
It's just
Here it
between
goes.
us.
It's just between.
Phil, stop watching.
I don't think I've ever gone more than 2 months without having sex.
2 months?
Oh my gosh.
That's not
It might be a month.
bad.
No, and that's because
for
it's
you.
mostly serious relationships. So it started with a 7-year relationship. 2 weeks later, it was a 9-month relationship. A month and a half later, I got into a 3-year relationship. And then, like 2 weeks after that, I got into a 3-month relationship.
Serial monogamous.
Serial
Serial
monogamy,
monogamous,
yeah.
but also, it's got to be frequent. So
Yeah.
it's got to happen.
I have to like force myself into like a dry spell because otherwise there was like 2 years. I spent like the last 2 years being a whore, so I was just like, there's something wrong with me. I need to figure out who I am again.
You
And then
put
I
the
took
brakes
like
on.
put the brakes on, and now it's been like
Who are you, Bun?
8-9 months. Still really confused.
We're still. This is the artichoke. Another leaf of the artichoke
leaf
that
of-
we're learning
yeah.
of Bond.
Yeah.
We've removed it.
Keep on going. There's so many.
At the center, he's a
I want
murderer.
artichokes.
He has bodies in his basement.
Yeah,
that's what we
find
find out.
We fucking put the leaves back on.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
So, good segue.
What do you-
Speaking of bodies hitting the floor,
What is this that you have
Joss
pulled up?
Whedon, Wonder Woman sexist screenplay on the Daily.com.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
We got to do this.
I
like,
wanna
this
do
next
it.
week.
So I think
Gotta
our
figure
next
that
week's
out.
schedule, we are going to be doing this. I'm so sorry, Bon. Well, no,
So
we could figure out a day.
Possibly,
We
yeah.
could hopefully,
yeah.
you know,
I will try to find.
I
a way to make
posted
it
my
work.
availability
we're gonna
today,
need
so
a lot
everyone
of
else
people
get
on
on
this
it.
one. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is
Yeah.
breaking news last week. That I found out and is it's really exciting because
In a bad way.
because we all love Joss Whedon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this
the man could
was-
almost do no wrong,
And this,
Almost.
and then he did.
And this was a much talked about thing when it happened. Like, oh my God, Joss Whedon got tapped to do Wonder Woman, and every nerd's brain just went to that amazing movie in our heads. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's gonna kill it. This is
It's
gonna be
gonna be
amazing.
fantastic.
He did Buffy. He did all these great characters.
Always
it's gonna
strong.
be amazing.
Yeah.
And it has leaked on the internet, that first draft script, and
That was 2006.
Yeah.
when he was slated to do this.
11
and it
years
didn't
ago.
work
so
out.
Wonder Woman's been in the works for a long time.
So we haven't actually said what's wrong with it.
No, and the article just goes on to say that hey, we looked through the script and the way he talks about women is outdated.
Yeah.
And
But we don't. The
kind of
thing is, too,
bro-y.
I also don't
Kind
know
of
if
bro-y.
it's. I don't know if he wrote the script for that type of trying to sell it to them. Like, it's really hard to define because when
Right.
you're writing for a big studio, they might have told him or direction to go with it too. That's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we don't know. I mean, we have the words of the script, and that's it. And
Yeah.
we know that Joss Whedon wrote it, and that's it. So we don't know what the studio system was like, what they were telling him, what he was attempting. And really, you write a first draft to get to the second draft, to get to the third
Yeah.
draft.
You
So
you
this is
write
like
a draft just
bare
so people know
bones.
it exists.
Yeah, to have something. And so that got leaked, and it's
did you guys read any of it at all by chance?
I
little
have
blurbs,
not had a
but
chance
not-
to.
Here's a
Yeah.
tiny blurb. Then she moves her leg back and turns fluidly. Fluidly, a curve rippling up her body as she folds into a dance that is sensual, ethereal, and wicked sexy. It's odd wording. This is
Really
not a
wicked
warrior
sexy, bro.
march, though it remains idiosyncratic. It is neither out of place nor unnoticed on the crowd floor. Angle?
Angel? Angle? Oh, Angle.
Angle. Angle
Griffin-
2.
Oh,
Griffin and
oh,
Ben watching, enraptured.
Ben
Are you
Says-
watching this?
Griffin.
It's like Christmas.
So, and there's a lot of this in the movie. It's this like odd. It's this overly descriptive, hypersexualized version of Wonder Woman.
Right.
That was not.
What was
that
being released around that time too is a big question.
2006.
Yeah.
that's a good question. I don't
Because
know.
it's also like one of the things like
Well, here's the thing. What was being released as far as the strong woman lead characters? Nothing.
Nothing.
Because there hasn't been a lot.
and
Right.
it's probably like how that scene was just said. It reminds me of Sin City, like where it was very highly sexualized.
Yeah, and I have no problem with like women being sexualized. Like if you're gonna have like a Catwoman movie, she's fucking sexy.
Yeah, how is she not
that,
going to be
that
sexy?
is who she is. She uses that kind of part of her femininity to get what she wants. Wonder Woman
That's
does
not
not.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
that is
no,
not
she
what
was
Wonder Woman's
strong.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a more traditional
And like,
character is attractive, but that's not like
there's
That is
so
for
many
me.
things that there's like questions that this raises for me, especially around like who they had ideas for casting
Yeah.
and like who was putting up the funding for this. I know a like company bought it and they have a draft, but
Right.
how did this all start? Like I'm so curious.
There's another part in the movie where they said, let's see, the uglies are going to have to bring you down.
Oh my
So
god.
it's
Wow.
not just his uplifting,
The
if that's what you want to
uglies.
call, description of women. It's also a shitty description of how you would talk about other women.
Yeah.
and
That's
people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
ridiculous.
Um,
Right.
and the current version of Wonder Woman is amazing. It's great. Love it.
yeah.
Have you seen it
Still
yet?
haven't seen it yet.
No.
Wow.
Someone bring me.
It's always asking
She
for something.
needs a ride.
I have a ride home today. Thank you very much.
Don't.
That's great.
Greg is picking me up so
Oh,
we can
got
go
it,
to the
got
mic.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
I don't.
So yeah, I'm so excited for us to do a script reading for this. I think it's a great second script
I
reading.
want to be a part of this so badly because I just want to be ungodly ridiculous and like
It's
because
gonna be-
last time I got to be a narrator. And
Yeah.
I want to act in this one because
I
it's so
really
much fun.
What's your
want
favorite
to be
Joss
Wonder
Whedon
Woman.
thing?
It's got to be between either Buffy or Firefly.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely Firefly.
Me is also
100%
Firefly. I also think
Firefly.
I might like Firefly as far as characters are concerned better than any Star Wars thing I've ever seen. But Star Wars
I can agree with that.
story-wise, like overall,
I feel like it's
think-
hard to compare a
It's-
movie and a
it-
TV
it's
show,
hard to
a
compare.
movie series and a
okay,
because
TV
so
it's
I'm
like
series.
watching Clone Wars
time-wise
right now,
and-
for instance.
Okay.
They have
Okay.
television.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
I just love all the characters in that ensemble. As
Yeah.
an ensemble piece, one of the
They're
best.
amazing.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I wish I had learned their story because there's so much I want to learn about them, and that just never got told.
Yeah.
And
And
now
it-
they're turning it into an animated series.
Kevin Bransford, who played
Marty.
Marty for our last script read, his favorite show of all time is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mhm.
So in his mind, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for him. Joss can do no wrong. But
And
Yeah.
early, like the first season of Buffy, kind of a throwaway.
sure.
It took a while for them to really develop how the lore was going to be and how the characters were. And when Firefly was made, he had done Buffy, he had done Angel, he had a lot under his belt, and he made this really potent 13, 14 episode thing.
Yeah.
That
Had
is a
strong
crime that it
characters.
was only that short.
Yeah.
And we got a good movie out of it, but still, in a way, it's kind of like maybe that was just
Sometimes it just wasn't
something
the right
that had
time.
to happen, where it's just this amazing short thing.
A crime by no fault of his own. They lost funding.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, they threw him on Friday night. My sister and I
Yeah,
watched
yep.
Firefly religiously when it was on.
when it was live.
Yeah, absolutely. And they didn't start with a pilot. They started with the train job because there were Fox
Yeah.
was like,
Episode,
yeah.
we need to get right into the action, right
Just-
into the action.
they
So
can
we
learn
know-
about them later. Just keep on going.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't until the show was canceled that they aired the pilot.
I
Yeah.
did not know
Yeah.
that.
There
And
was also some weird gaps in the air. Like they
Yeah, none
skipped
of
a
them were
couple
in place.
weeks.
Yeah.
They didn't give the show a chance.
There was no
Yes.
way for a following to build up, and it fucked them.
They
Yeah.
constantly move them. It's
And in Albuquerque, I believe it could just be somewhere in the state of New Mexico. There is a once a year Serenity
Yeah.
viewing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where they raise
The Brown
funds
Coats.
for
Yeah.
I think like Children's Hospital.
Yep.
Things.
And
yeah.
it's always a
Yeah, it's
big
huge.
success.
Good for
Yeah.
them.
yeah.
That's amazing.
I always go. one of
what
my
was your
things.
favorite? Joss Whedon?
I am Serenity and Firefly. That's
Serenity
my
and
thing
Firefly,
because
yeah.
I just love. Honestly, I just love the Doctor.
Jessica,
Doc's
yours
cool.
is Buffy, probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I also hear some of the other stuff too. Dollhouse, I heard it was amazing.
That I need to see the second season of because it kind of dropped off. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't.
It was just
so
hard for me to
much
get
of
into it.
him.
I heard the
He-
second season.
I've heard
They
it was way
shoved
better.
like 4 seasons into one. So I heard
Yeah.
it was
Oh my
Kevin
God.
was
Yeah.
saying it's
Kevin was
really
talking
good.
about that, yeah.
Purely action packed.
Yeah.
Justin wants to know the name of the column for. You can
Oh,
just
no.
type in.
Yeah, so he said Savage Love is the name of the column before, but
Yeah, that's
I
the-
didn't see it until well
Dan
after we were
Savage.
done
Should have
talking
done
about it.
Random
Got it.
stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then we have someone named Obese Juan Kenobi,
Nice.
and it's like
What's it? What on Twitch?
on Twitch.
Got
on
it.
Twitch.
YouTube's very quiet right now.
and then I could not. I don't know when this was.
What'd he say?
But he says she's fucking a coworker's idiot, and then gay confirmed.
She's,
All right.
She's fucking a coworker?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're out of town, probably. Jess.
Oh.
That's how they keep the spark alive. Adultery.
Adultery.
That's
Good old-fashioned cheating.
the classic.
Right?
All right,
It's a
so
time-consuming thing.
I want to go back a couple beats.
To stand up.
Yes. To not only congratulate you
For?
having your first showcase.
Oh, yeah. And a
Congrats,
basement.
the
congrats.
basement show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
but-
And I love my opening, honestly. Like, I'm proud of
Oh,
that.
I thought it was great. You had a great set.
It really
You know,
set
I was like
everything
dying
really
the whole
nice.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really were. That made me, because I've never heard you say anything positive about my stand up. Like, no joke.
Or
and I think highly of
in
you. I think
general.
you're a great stand up, and I think you're a funny person. And when you were laughing that night, I was like, all right, I fucking did it. You know, I got Kendra finally.
You know, those were my first showcases on Friday in Albuquerque, right?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Those were my first showcases in Albuquerque on Friday.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
What?
Wait, I thought you did a showcase in Texas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, in Albuquerque.
Oh, in Albuquerque. Okay. Well, small congratulations. You've done so.
no,
you've
but
really
that's
done
so, that's so,
showcases.
no, wait, but not here.
I know. And this
That's
is
so
this is home for you.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true. That is very exciting. Good
pretty
job. We
awesome.
both
So
did
we
it.
both did it.
Yay.
Yeah.
And we're opening our podcast.
Yes.
I
I'm
missed
so
all of
excited.
these.
You guys need to get into stand-up, guys.
I know.
Oh yeah, we've got.
I am bonds in a play.
Don't stop.
What are you doing, Scott?
Scott,
Not much.
how's your voiceover
How's
thing
it going?
'Cause
I
you
mean,
wanna move
just,
forward with that, right?
Have you
That's the
been
idea.
trying?
Doing auditions. Yeah, just
Oh, cool.
submitting and just trying to get that ball. It's tough. I mean, it's a lot
Are you
of people.
Well, and
doing
you
the same
just
thing.
started trying like a week or two
Right,
ago.
and then I had last week I was covering for a coworker that was on her honeymoon. So I mean, I was working all week
Yeah.
and just tired, and so this week
hard
I'll
to find
get
out
back
now,
into
it's
the
time.
Cool.
swing of things.
What kind of voiceover work is like pie in the sky for you? Do you want to do anime? Do you want to do American cartoons? Do you want to do video games? What is it?
Animation would be great. As far as like a bucket list sort of thing, I would love to be a voice at Disneyland.
At Disneyland.
I would love to just do one of the please keep your arms, feet, and hands.
You want to be an
all that shit.
instructional Disneyland?
Well, because like okay, so they have the Indiana Jones Adventure.
Yes.
And they've had it since the early 90s. And it hasn't changed since the early 90s. So they have the guy who played Balrog in Lord of the Rings. He was also Indiana Jones's friend, Azim.
Oh, yes. The bigger guy.
The bigger guy.
Yeah.
He is
He's
forever doing the instructional video as you're waiting in line. It's like, step right up, everybody. And he shows you how to use the seatbelt.
Yes, I remember
Or like a narration. And like some of my favorite things are like the narration for the Haunted Mansion.
yeah.
And they're old audio recordings from the early days of Disney and the parks and everything.
Are they getting rid of Haunted Mansion?
No, absolutely
Oh,
not.
okay. They
Absolutely.
better
It was
never.
just- it was Tower of Terror, and they just changed
They
it to.
they
Revamped
reconfigured
it.
the California Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy. I really want to see that.
Yes,
Even though I
yes.
love the Twilight Zone Tower of
It's
Terror.
the first of the Marvel world. At Disney.
Yeah, and that section of California Adventure will eventually be more Marvel-centric. But that is one of my diamond like things to shoot
That's
for
it,
ever
huh?
is just to be like
a part of Disney.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that would be cool to just like go to the park and be like, I'm the voice of that pirate or whatever.
A part of Disney or part of Disneyland?
Disneyland. I would
sorry,
let that
Jessica?
would yeah.
Star Wars Land.
Star Wars
Oh,
Land.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think they're talking about Mario Kart. Mario Kart at
Nintendo
Universal.
Nintendo
That's
Land
so
in
cool.
Universal,
Yeah,
yeah.
as a part of Nintendo Land. And
Yeah.
Mario Kart is.
Well,
That
You
would
know
be
what's
insane.
weird?
That'd be nuts.
There's a Marvel section at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure.
Really?
It's been there since way before Disney got the rights. So I'm waiting. Do you know what's happening with that?
Well,
As far as rights are
they
concerned?
can't touch Marvel in Florida. That's the deal. Like because of that.
Oh,
Disney
so Disney
can't
World
do
can't
Marvel
do Marvel.
things in Florida because what has already happened.
Yeah, because Islands of Adventure has had
Right.
that since I
been
lived
forever.
there.
So that's why they're doing all Marvel-centric things in California. because
Gotcha.
that's-
What's this? What's
To
that
be
space
cool-
like?
To be very honest, we should just start a new podcast on
About theme parks.
Theme parks, because we all love theme parks, and that's not easy to find. I know like I love
There are-
roller coasters too, and like
Right.
a
I
lot of people
love
need
roller
those,
coasters.
Right.
Just,
I need
wanna-
them.
I still have yet to go to like Hogwarts. I need to go.
I
need to go.
neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay, so
yeah.
we should have that as our first
Outing.
trip
Yeah. Full
with
trip.
all four of us.
Hogwarts.
We'll do a road trip.
And
But the one
just
in
two,
Florida,
obviously.
right?
Yeah.
Because Jessica went to the one in.
We have to go to the one
It's a
in
bit
Florida.
smaller in California, that's what I've
Smaller.
heard.
The train doesn't
It's
move.
not
That's
the
a
same.
bad move on
Yeah,
their
and the
part.
Florida
Yeah.
ones, that's the first one. That's the high water mark. Yeah.
And it's Florida. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
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 Let's go during the winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
great.
yeah, definitely. Or
You know, it's really not that bad unless it's like late July, early August.
I would
the rest
shoot
of the year is
for
fine.
October for if we're thinking Disney World as well.
It's always to
Yeah,
travel
'cause the
October,
lines.
September.
the
Those are best times.
Halloween
Oh.
time, Mickey's Halloween party.
Well, and Universal has Halloween Horror Nights,
Yes.
which I've never
Big
been
re-
to.
I've always wanted to do that.
Knott's
All of
Scary
my
Farm.
friends-
Have you guys heard of Knott's Berry Farm?
I've
California
not
based.
Scary Farm. They
Knott's
do.
Scary
Yeah,
Farm,
I've
that's
never
fun.
done
that
that, but
sounds terrifying.
That sounds
Good,
like
it's
so
good
much
stuff.
fun.
It's a lot
I'll
of
go to
fun.
the Disney one. I never went to the Universal one, and all my friends would go every year because I was just scared because they actually have people in the park that just chase you and
Yeah.
jump out at you.
Yeah.
You're not like on a ride or anything. They're just there with like fake
love it.
chainsaws,
They
and
do
that
it for
sounds
free.
awful.
They do
Here's
it
the
for
thing
free.
with
That is
fear for me.
my-
Like, I will yell, and then I will punch things. I scream really high pitched, and then I punch things. That's
So
my
you
reaction.
can't go to those things.
That's I will do them. Someone needs to make sure
They'll
that
get
like I
thrown
kind
out.
of handcuff myself.
Yeah, you
like,
shouldn't be allowed to go.
and when he gets thrown out, we will pretend we don't know.
I'll
yet
just
because
I'll
I
just go
wanna
get drunk
stay.
somewhere. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's
That-
fine.
that-
I'll find another adventure.
Like one of my I've had like when I was a kid like things that I really want to do. Apparently they weren't very high aspirations. One of them was to be a lifeguard because I love swimming. And I always thought I have a pair of red shorts just because I want to be a lifeguard. So like a little too short, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the second thing that I can remember.
You were
I just
wearing
have
them when you
now-
got out of the shower.
Oh, I remember that
Wasn't
now.
it? Yeah, I mean, never knew. Not true.
Such a weird concept. Never knew.
The second thing was I've always wanted to be one of those people that scare others at parks. Did you? I don't know if we talked about this. Were you a part of one of those things before? Like last year?
Oh no, I just worked the door.
Quarantine.
You worked. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
supposed to work that. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I love quarantine. If
wanna go there.
but I went through it a couple times, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And I realized maybe I've grown up, and I'm not
Scared.
scared anymore.
Oh, good. Good.
So I used to
You can
hate
enjoy
scary
it now.
movies and stay in haunted houses.
When I do haunted houses now, I'm much more interested in just the aesthetic of it. It's like, oh, I see what they did there. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And
I like it.
I remember one time I did the corn maze, the farm.
yeah,
McCall's.
McCall's.
They have the haunted barn and then they have the haunted corn maze.
Yeah.
And so I remember going through the haunted barn, and it's just high school kids having fun, jumping
Yeah.
out at you with masks and stuff. And I remember it was towards the end of the haunted house, and towards the I mean it's kind of the same thing. It's just like where it's a question
How's
of
it gonna happen?
where are these kids gonna jump out at me and yell?
Yeah.
Like, when is that going to happen? And it's like the second to last room, and this girl jumps out at me, and she goes, ah! And I'm like, yeah.
Do you not get scared easy?
Not from that.
Okay,
Like, just
okay.
because it was happening the whole fucking thing.
Right,
Like, if
yeah.
it's like all of a sudden, there was a really cool room where, like, barrels started to fall on you and, like, stopped, like,
Oh, that
right
is
there.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
and I was like,
And dangerous.
bravo. I was like, good.
Yeah.
That's
Are you
cool.
6'2"? Please bend down.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But if it's just another kid in a costume going, ah, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I
Yeah.
did that, and she followed me through the room, and she was like, I don't like you. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was just like, I was done at that point.
I love being scared. It's like it's that same feeling I get
In
with
the
the
roller coaster, yeah.
and it's just like I don't know. It's so.
I
exciting.
love
Like,
fear.
If I had, I love
Going
fear.
right
Like,
up
if
to it and not
If I
dying.
have a nightmare, I wake up and I'm smiling because
Yeah.
I'm like I'm so glad my brain.
And you wake
Oh,
Jessica
no.
up, like, because it happened
Look, it
again.
just happened. Yeah, yeah.
What
yeah.
happened?
He killed
Everyone
us.
died.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone.
I'm afraid of everything.
Jessica hates it all.
I hate
She's
being
scared of it
afraid,
all.
and I'm afraid of everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think like for me, fear is one of those things where it's like I think there's a reason why I was an adrenaline junkie because I love the fear of like right
Yeah.
before jumping out of a plane. I'm like, I might die. Yeah.
We'll see if
Everyone's
that
done.
happens. Yeah.
And then it's like when it's watching a scary movie, I'm like, I am. Oh my gosh! And I'm the one who yells. Like I'm a very vocal, scary
Yeah.
cat when it comes to like scary movies, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, it's my
It is
favorite.
fun. It's a lot of fun. So where are we at on time?
We are over.
Over
We're
an hour.
Over.
Cool.
Did you hit all the topics you wanted to hit?
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Well, actually, I didn't, but that's okay.
That's okay. We can save it for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had put the Scott story for the week before, and
All
Scott
right.
wasn't here, so just
Yeah.
save him up.
Save it up.
We have a
My
queue.
LA trip.
Your LA trip, or my LA trip. No, your LA trip.
I also went to LA.
We
Pins.
did it. We did the same drive. It's
I went
awful
to
drive.
the
I love that
Scientology center and
Oh.
met with Scientologists.
We wanted to talk about that.
I want to talk about that
Next
so
week
bad.
Oh.
Yeah, we
just
are
make sure
we are
you
well
talk
over.
about
Put
it.
it put it on here.
Okay, we'll put it on here.
Yeah.
Scientology Center. Okay, so what's coming up this week, guys?
Okay. So later today we have video games controller alt delete. Our video game show. We'll be playing the Nintendo Switch. We'll be playing 1-2 Switch and ARMS. And then on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we have Slut Monkey.
Slut Monkey.
Slut Monkey.
Inaugural episode.
Inaugural episode.
So new improv podcast. Very excited for that. Thursday we'll be playing Ludum Tempest, which is our tabletop game show. Not a game show, but a show
tabletop
about
game
tabletop
show.
games.
Show.
Where we play
Was that
games.
confusing? And we're playing
Tune
Lords
in.
of
Games.
Vegas.
I'm thinking. I've been wanting to play that
We
for a long
might-
time.
We might change it, but probably Lords of.
Oh.
What? Huh?
Just give us and then now our added show on Friday, Chuckle Fuckers with God, with Sam Talent, Andrew Polk. God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
gonna be really
Fun.
good. It's gonna be really good. I'm excited too to see how this works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good. It's just gonna be me trying to fuck them. I think they're
is
both
that-
married,
That's okay.
and I'm
you
in
like
a,
a challenge?
and I'm in a committed relationship. So
You like a challenge?
we'll see how it goes.
This is- You're fighting yourself
If,
and all the other external
we shouldn't have called it
relationships.
Chuckle Fuckers if you're not DTF.
Well,
I mean, for
I can work
comedy,
around it.
No. Jessica, can I fuck Sam Talent? That's a yes.
longing
That's
look.
a yes from
Yeah.
Jessica.
Cool. We are in. Thank you guys once again for tuning in, watching, downloading, whatever you did. And if you are a fan of what we do, what we say, please like, follow, share, subscribe. All the verbs.
All the verbs.
All the verbs.
What we care about most, though, is just seeing all your. I mean, not seeing, but having all your beautiful comments and
Yeah.
submitting and like watching us. Thank you so much for that.
And if you have ideas for shows,
Yeah, send them our way. We're so open to that.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of cool shows out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, was another one potentially might have with Jessica and Kendra,
Yeah.
Girls Corner or something of that nature. We'll work on a name.
Yeah, there's a
I don't know
lot of
if they all
things.
belong in a corner per se, but
90
Girls-
degrees. Do we call
Oh,
it
shit,
90
ha-
degrees?
90 degrees because they're so hot.
They're in the corner.
In the corner.
A lot
No,
of
you
shit
do.
happens in the corner.
Like an angle, not like a temperature.
Girls acute angle. All right, we'll work on it.
Thanks
We're
for
still
watching.
workshopping.
Thank you. I love you.
Bye.
Maybe. I don't know you.
I don't know
so.
you.